Hello, thank you for coming on in. We'll get here started here in just a moment. Just waiting for people to trickle in here, and then we'll get going. Today's the day I need to honor my brothers and sisters that have fallen, and I will do it with great honor. That's for sure. I will be reading 222 names of those that have fallen. And I appreciate everyone that's coming in. I really do. I thank you for being here today. Just to introduce myself, my name is Jeremy Pless, and in about 20 minutes, we're going to be gathering in unity, remembrance, and of course, respect. We're here to honor the brave, the men and women of the United States Armed Forces that gave everything on the battlefield. Everything. They lost in the service to this nation. Many are Medal of Honor recipients whose courage inspired generations, other service members even, and those who fought silent battles from the effects of PTSD are one of those that we'll be remembering today as well. And today's not about politics. It's more about, and it's not about division. It's about sacrifice, brotherhood, and sisterhood, definitely. And remembering those that we will always remember and never forget them. For many, Memorial Day is a long weekend, but our families across this nation, it is a reminder of an empty chair at the dinner table, or even a folded flag in the living room, or maybe that voicemail saved forever that you can't ever get rid of, and the memories never fade. Today I'm going to speak their names because as long as their names are spoken, their legacy will live on. Before I begin, however, I'm going to ask everyone to if you have your audio on your phone, if you could please, out of respect, make sure you mute that. And we'll go ahead and get started in honoring America's fallen. In just a few minutes, I'll begin reading those names. I still got a few minutes, so we'll wait for a few more people to trickle in, and then we definitely will be getting started reading those names of those soldiers that definitely need to be honored. The reason I chose 222 is in remembrance of the 22. Ben's Heart Ministry actually got me started on the 22 day challenge. And a little background on Ben's Heart Ministry. Her son was in the Army, Afghanistan and Iraq. And after 2 tours, he came back home and fell victim to the 22. And because of that, his mother decided to make sure that no parent has to ever go through that again. And to make sure that she spreads awareness and let every veteran out there know that they're not alone. And that's what I'm trying to portray as well. Anyone out there that's a veteran, you're my brother, you're my sister, and I am here for you. Anytime, day or night, I got your 6. I really do appreciate everyone in here. The more the merrier. I really, really do appreciate it. If you could just share, like, and get others to come on in, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. What we got here? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get it started, I believe. As I said, out of respect and honor, if anyone that has their phones, their volume on, if you could just kindly mute that, it would be greatly appreciated until this is done. Just out of respect. Thank you so much. It's much appreciated. Okay, now here we go. I'm going to go ahead and read the names. I'm going to be as slow as I can so that I can get each name correct and render the service correct so that no one is forgotten. I'm going to start out with number 1, and that would be Second Lieutenant Albert E. Bastel, U.S. Army. Number 2, Lieutenant Colonel Harold W. Bauer, U.S. Marine Corps. Number 3, Corporal Louis K. Bassel, U.S. Marine Corps. Next, John Basilone, U.S. Marine Corps. PFC William Baugh, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant First Class Ted Belcher, U.S. Army. Colonel William E. Barber, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Jason L. Denham, U.S. Marine Corps. Staff Sergeant Robert J. Miller, U.S. Army. Sergeant First Class Paul R. Smith, U.S. Army. Master Sergeant Gary I. Gordon, U.S. Army. Sergeant First Class Randall D. Schickart, U.S. Army. Corporal Kyle Schneider, U.S. Marine Corps. Lance Corporal Jordan Herter, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Jonathan Yale, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Michael Crescents, U.S. Marine Corps. Staff Sergeant Travis Atkins, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Ryan M. Pitts, U.S. Army. Sergeant Michael H. Ollis, U.S. Army. Sergeant Rafael Peralta, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal William Kyle Carpenter, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal William Kyle Carpenter, Marine Corps. Sergeant Dakota Meyer, U.S. Marine Corps. I lost my place. I apologize. Sergeant First Class Leroy A. Petrie, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Clint Romisha, U.S. Army. Captain Florent Groberg, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Ty M. Carter, U.S. Army. Specialist Ross A. McInnes, U.S. Army. Michael A. Mansour, U.S. Navy. Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy, U.S. Navy. Mark A. Lee, U.S. Navy. Britt K. Slabinski, U.S. Navy. Edward C. Byers, Jr., U.S. Navy. So, gentlemen, I was mentioned earlier. Benjamin Kroll, U.S. Army, Afghanistan, Iraq veteran, became part of the 22. Buell B.A. Pless, 101st Airborne, U.S. Army, World War II Purple Heart recipient. Staff Sergeant Kevin D. Davis, U.S. Army, KIA. Christopher Richard Fagan, U.S. Navy. Deceased February 10, 2024. First Lieutenant Michael J. Adams, U.S. Army. Sergeant Joseph A. Atkinson, U.S. Army. Private First Class Richard B. Anderson, U.S. Marine Corps. Private First Class James Anderson, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant Webster Anderson, U.S. Army. Private First Class Richard E. Bush, U.S. Army. Private First Class Richard E. Bush, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant Mitchell W. Stout, U.S. Army. Captain Humbert R. Versace, U.S. Army. Major Charles J. Waters, U.S. Army. Sergeant Rodney M. Davis, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Larry L. Maxim, U.S. Marine Corps. Private First Class Milton L. Olive III, U.S. Army. Spec 4 Daniel Fernandez, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Laszlo Rebel, U.S. Army. Sergeant Gordon R. Roberts, U.S. Army. Sergeant Alfredo Gonzalez, U.S. Marine Corps. Captain Riley L. Pitts, U.S. Army. Sergeant John R. Caviani, U.S. Army. Sergeant Sammy L. Davis, U.S. Army. Private First Class David F. Winder, U.S. Army. Sergeant Gary W. Martini, U.S. Marine Corps. Private First Class Bruce W. Carter, U.S. Marine Corps. Private First Class Robert H. Jenkins, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps. PFC Kenneth J. Worley, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant James W. Robinson, Jr., U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Drew D. Dix, U.S. Army. Major Patrick H. Brady, U.S. Army. Colonel George E. Day, U.S. Air Force. Richard L. Etchberger, U.S. Air Force. Captain Lance P. Zahan, U.S. Air Force. Colonel Bernard F. Fisher, U.S. Air Force. Lieutenant Colonel Leo K. Thornsness, U.S. Air Force. Colonel James P. Fleming, U.S. Air Force. Colonel Joe M. Jackson, U.S. Air Force. Major Marilyn H. Deathlifson, U.S. Air Force. Captain Gerald O. Young, U.S. Air Force. Colonel William A. Jones III, U.S. Air Force. Captain Ed W. Freeman, U.S. Army. Major Bruce P. Crandall, U.S. Army. PFC Desmond T. Doss, U.S. Army. First Lieutenant Audie L. Murphy, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Lucianne Adams, U.S. Army. First Lieutenant Audie L. Murphy, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Lucianne Adams, U.S. Army. PFC Harold G. Epperson, U.S. Marine Corps. Private First Class Jacqueline H. Lucas, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Herschel W. Williams, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant Darrell S. Cole, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant Henry A. Courtney, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps. PFC Douglas T. Jacobson, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant Jack J. Pendleton, U.S. Army. Forrest E. Pedden, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Isidore S. Jackman, U.S. Army. First Lieutenant Vernon J. Baker, U.S. Army. Corporal Tibor Rubin, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Salvatore Clunta, U.S. Army. Sergeant John A. Chapman, U.S. Air Force. Forrest L. Vossler, U.S. Army Air Forces. Second Lieutenant David R. Kingsley, U.S. Army Air Forces. Harl Peace, Jr., U.S. Army Air Forces. Sergeant Maynard H. Smith, U.S. Army Air Forces. Colonel Paul W. Tiblitz, Jr., U.S. Army Air Forces. John F. Kennedy, U.S. Navy. Commander Ernest E. Evans, U.S. Navy. Douglas A. Monroe, U.S. Coast Guard. Commander Howard W. Gilmore, U.S. Navy. Lieutenant John D. Buckley, U.S. Navy. Captain Richard O. Kane, U.S. Navy. Captain Eugene B. Fleckley, U.S. Navy. Samuel D. Dealey, U.S. Navy. Commander Lawson P. Ramage, U.S. Navy. Commander George L. Street III, U.S. Navy. James E. Williams, U.S. Navy. Robert R. Ingram, U.S. Navy. Donald E. Ballard, U.S. Navy. Wayne M. Caron, U.S. Navy. John H. Kilmer, U.S. Navy. David R. Ray, U.S. Navy. Robert M. Cassie, U.S. Navy. William R. Charette, U.S. Navy. Sergeant Frederick W. Massert III, U.S. Marine Corps. PFC William R. Prom, U.S. Marine Corps. PFC Ralph H. Johnson, U.S. Marine Corps. Lance Corporal Richard A. Pittman, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Thomas J. Kinsman, U.S. Army. Sergeant Dwight H. Johnson, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Marvin R. Young, U.S. Army. Sergeant William W. C., U.S. Army. Sergeant Robert F. Stryker, U.S. Army. Spec 4 Charles C. Hagmeister, U.S. Army. Sergeant John N. Holcomb, U.S. Army. Sergeant Charles B. Morris, U.S. Army. Spec for Donald W. Evans, Jr., U.S. Army. PFC Carlos Lazada, U.S. Army. PFC Hector Santiago Colon, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Felix M. Conde Falcon, U.S. Army. Candelario Garcia, U.S. Army. Sergeant Jose Rodela, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Melvin Morris, U.S. Army. Sergeant Santiago J. Arevia, U.S. Army. Sergeant Jesus S. Duran, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Robert T. Kuroda, U.S. Army. PFC Barney F. Hario, U.S. Army. PFC Sadeo S. Munamori, U.S. Army. PFC Frank H. Ono, U.S. Army. Private Joe P. Martinez, U.S. Army. Sergeant Sylvester Antelak, U.S. Army. Sergeant Maciero Garcia, U.S. Army. Captain Ben L. Solomon, U.S. Army. First Lieutenant John C. Hogren, U.S. Army. Sergeant John W. Minnick, U.S. Army. First Lieutenant Jack L. Knight, U.S. Army. Sergeant Jake W. Lindsay, Sr., U.S. Army. PFC Manuel Perez, Jr., U.S. Army. Sergeant George D. Keithley, U.S. Army. First Lieutenant Robert C. Waugh, U.S. Army. Sergeant Raymond H. Cooley, U.S. Army. Corporal Claire Goodblood, U.S. Army. PFC Melvin L. Brown, U.S. Army. Corporal Hiroshi H. Miramura, U.S. Army. Master Sergeant Ernest R. Kuma, U.S. Army. PFC William Thompson, U.S. Army. Sergeant First Class Nelson V. Britton, U.S. Army. Sergeant Cornelius H. Charlton, U.S. Army. PFC Mac A. Jordan, U.S. Army. Corporal Rodolfo P. Hernandez, U.S. Army. Corporal Benito Martinez, U.S. Army. Sergeant First Class Christopher A. Solis, U.S. Army. Sergeant First Class Matthew O. Williams, U.S. Army. Master Sergeant Earl D. Plumley, U.S. Army. Sergeant First Class Thomas P. Payne, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant David G. Palavia, U.S. Army. Sergeant Henry Johnson, U.S. Army. Sergeant William Shemin, U.S. Army. Corporal Freddie Stowers, U.S. Army. Corporal Freddie Stowers, U.S. Army. Captain Emil J. Capone, U.S. Army. PFC William R. Crawford, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Carter P. Johnson, U.S. Army. Corporal Donald M. Mahler, U.S. Army. Sergeant Victor H. Espinoza, U.S. Army. Sergeant Del E. Warian, U.S. Army. PFC Louis Albanese, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Delbert O. Jennings, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Robert J. Pruden, U.S. Army. Sergeant Anund C. Rourke, U.S. Army. PFC James W. Faust, U.S. Army. Corporal Terry T. Kawamura, U.S. Army. Sergeant David C. Dolby, U.S. Army. Sergeant Robert W. Hartsock, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Clifford C. Sims, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Joe R. Hooper, U.S. Army. Sergeant Peter C. Lemon, U.S. Army. Sergeant Maximo Yabes, U.S. Army. Sergeant Robert M. Patterson,
U.S. Army. Sergeant Don F. Porter, U.S. Army. Lieutenant John U.D. Page, U.S. Army. Second Lieutenant Robert D. Ream, U.S. Marine Corps. Colonel Reginald R. Myers, U.S. Marine Corps. Second Lieutenant Sherrod E. Skinner, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps. PFC Hector A. Cafaretta, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps. PFC Robert Simonek, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant Major Alan J. Kellogg, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Dwayne E. Dewey, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Lee H. Phillips, U.S. Marine Corps. PFC Edward Gomez, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal James L. Day, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal Joseph Vittori, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant Major Daniel J. Daly, U.S. Marine Corps. Major General Smedley D. Butler, U.S. Marine Corps. Corporal John F. Mackey, U.S. Marine Corps. Private Frank Gaffney, U.S. Army. Sergeant Alan C. York, U.S. Army. Corporal Thomas A. Pope, U.S. Army. First Lieutenant Samuel Wardfield, U.S. Army. Sergeant Matej Kokak, U.S. Marine Corps. And in conclusion for the names, Fred W. Stockham, U.S. Marine Corps. That concludes the reading of the names. Now, momentarily, I'll be playing taps. If everybody could just have some decency and respect. If you have anything that needs to be muted, please do that now. And to all my veterans, attention! Present arms! Order, arms!
I appreciate everybody's support on this and supporting our fallen. It means a lot. It means a lot. Excuse me, I didn't mean to play it again. As I was saying, each and every one of those names I read, they were sons, they were daughters, they were mothers, they were fathers. They were brothers, husbands, wives, teammates, friends. They laughed, they dreamed, they served. They mattered. And they will always remember, never forgot. Today we were searching for those that carried wounds that no one could see. And I'm speaking of the veterans that struggle in silence with PTSD. My brothers and sisters, you're not alone. Your life matters. Now in honor of all who have fallen, and in remembrance of those that we've lost to war, trauma, and that battle within, we will now respectfully observe 22 minutes of silence. I thank everybody for coming in. Yeah, I'm okay. I was trying to get to that 22 finish line, but if anyone feels like that's too long, please let me know. I'm just trying to give respect. I appreciate that, but it's not about me today. That's for sure. I haven't I haven't had a live in so long. I forgot to open boxes.
Just like that.
Perfect. It's been a while. It's been a long while.
I just made it easy on you. Hey, Bandy. Hey, Betsy.
You felt good though. Felt good.
How are you, Betsy?
You right, Bandy?
Oh, now it wants to come. Sorry, everybody. I'm good. Getting ready for my live next.
I appreciate every last one of y'all that came in to support. I really do. And speaking of which, this was done not only on behalf of our fallen brothers and sisters, but on behalf of Ben's Heart Ministry, Rebuild the Brave, DD 214 alumni, all the organizations out there that support veterans and try to do anything and everything they can to stop the unaliving. You are greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated.
Bandy, Betsy.
And I thank you for standing with us today. You know,
I
those families,
apologize, everybody, for my birds.
those families out there that had to go through the pain and the sacrifice. Thank you for having the strength to come in and stand with us. It's much appreciated. We might be leaving here remembering that freedom is never free, and the fallen live on through us on how we choose to live, how to serve, and how to care for one another. To all my brothers and sisters, we have to watch from here.
May God bless our military, our vets, the families who carry the memories, and of course, the United States of America. Semper Fidelis, airborne, and may we never, ever, ever forget. Always remembered, never forgotten. And any brother or sister out there that you feel like you're having a rough time or what have you, if you ever need an ear, we are here. We are here. Never hesitate to reach out, ever.
Bandy and Swampman are requesting up 80-second.
I didn't see them. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, they're both in the chat.
All right. Find them. I'm starting to learn again.
What's good? 82nd.
I'm good now. I'm doing all right now.
I can't stay on here long, but I wanted to say that was a good presentation.
Thank you.
We missed the ones that lost their lives and the ones that's missing.
Right.
I give all glory that you have a peace in your heart today, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm giving the Lord to give you strength, and I'm praying for it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I just gotta hold on tight.
Yes, sir.
I just asked that if there's anybody out there as a veteran who needs anybody to talk to, can come in this live or my live. I'm going live here in a few minutes, and I will have veterans in my live as well. I am a veteran wife, but I do have veterans in my live that will reach out and talk to you as well.
Absolutely.
Chaos.
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
Matt.
We
You did a
miss
good job
you.
today, 82nd.
I'm sorry.
You did a good job today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was rough. I was having a hard time at the end.
Yeah.
Another reason is because when I got these names, I just randomly got them, and I didn't look them over until today. 3 of the people that are on that list,
They were good friends of yours.
We will support you.
Remember, take a deep breath in.
I'm good.
Today is not about the veterans. Today is about the fallen.
Absolutely. That's right. And you'd be honored and respected and remembered. That's for sure. This is their day.
Welcome in, Swamp King, Queen. I can't talk today. My head hurts so bad.
Hoorah.
It's like last night was already the 3rd night I have not gotten sleep until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Lord.
I'm already on 2 medicines for migraines.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Swamp Queen. What's your day today? I hate to say that, but it's. I think someone's gonna have to keep me level-headed today.
It's a good thing I didn't do the bike ride thing. I saw on the news that there was already a ride going in Riverside, but it was bikers.
Motorcycles.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need.
I was going to say, if you had one, you could have joined them.
I used to have two. I had a Sportster and I had a Triumph.
What they have
Oh, a
that I
sport.
have to ask for Christmas.
That, a motorcycle?
Dunkin' Donuts tennis shoes.
Oh, me lord.
Oh my
It
god!
actually says Dunkin' Donuts across them. Like absolutely the best thing you could actually have.
Wow.
Holy
Yeah,
shenanigans.
I had to say something to make you smile. It worked. Look at that. I am the
Dunkin'
best
Donuts
thing on
shoes.
it. What can I
Well,
say?
I can't say nothing. You
But
never...
I am actually gonna ask for it. You watch. You guys are gonna get a picture all over TikTok in my new Dunkin' Donuts shoes.
Well, you remember when they had Skittles and Jolly Rancher and everything else socks?
They still have
Yeah.
them.
Ah, see?
I'm gonna get some of those too to go with my Dunkin' Donuts. Watch.
That's what...
Oh, Lord.
Someone should invent some socks that are like scratch and sniff or something.
Hey, when my mom told me to think outside of the box, I took that as a challenge, okay?
In my marketing class, I don't know why I brought up socks, probably because my marketing class. My marketing class, I had to rebrand these socks that this company had. I had to totally rename it and everything, so I did. And it was these socks. What they do is they got this pouch thing in them. They warm up. They're like glove warmers, and I renamed them Toast Day. The German word for warm, wear, was what the name I renamed them to make it sound la da da, and they were premium socks.
You should see the slippers I found last night. You're right, Chaos. There is no going back inside the box, but who wants to be thinking inside the box? Why not keep saying outside the box?
I agree with. It's no fun thinking inside the box.
My printer prints 2 pages at a time. How about that? See, it's special just like me.
Is it special or special?
It might be special, but I haven't figured that one out yet.
You going to join us tomorrow, Chaos?
What time?
Normal time.
Depending. It's right now I'm getting my garden going. And if I don't do it now, I'm not going to be able to.
I was
I
trying.
should give it a shot.
I was trying to do the live on my laptop, but it wouldn't let me. I had to download the TikTok shop and all that crap on there before it let me do anything.
Okay, here you guys go. I got something for you. Key dates in the history of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
The key dates?
Key dates.
Okay.
World War I, Unknown Soldier, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, December 21st, 1920. Congressman Hamilton Fish III, Republican, New York, introduces legislation for the return of an unknown American and his burial in Arlington National Cemetery. March 4th, 1921. Joint House Resolution 426 signed by President Woodrow Wilson authorizing the return of an unknown American and his burial in Arlington National Cemetery. October 22nd, 1921. 4 American officers were ordered to exhume candidates from 4 different cemeteries in France. Once a candidate had been found, it was transported to, I don't know how to say this, so hopefully I say it right, Chalon-sur-Marne to the Hotel de Ville, where the 4 candidates remained under the watch of the French Honor Guard. October 24, 1921, Sergeant Edward Younger selects a World War I unknown soldier from 4 candidates, again under that name. Chalon-en-Champagne, France. The World War I unknown soldier is transported to Paris via train where he remains overnight under the watch of a U.S. Army Honor Guard and 1 uniformed member of the American Legion. October 25th, 1921. The World War I unknown soldier is transported to Pierre d'Escalais, I cannot say these words, from France via train where he is honored by Minister André Maginot with the Croix de Chevalier honor. Crew and a detachment of U.S. Marines from the USS Olympia C-6 assume control of the World War I unknown soldier and begin transit to the United States under escort of the USS Reuben James DD-245.
Oh, wow.
November 9, 1921, the USS Olympia C-6 arrives at the Naval Gun Factory and transfers the World War I unknown soldier to the 2nd Squadron, 3rd Cavalry Regiment. The unknown soldier is transported via Cassone to the U.S. Capitol, where he lays in state upon the Lincoln I can't say half these words. But anyways, it goes on to the World War II and Korean War unknown soldiers, and then Vietnam, and then it shows like closer to the U.S. unknown Korea, like up close, and then it talks about like missing in action, America's appreciation, and stuff like that. But I printed that out.
Right.
Tell them about the Vietnam soldier that at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, Michael Bissell.
What was that?
Michael Bissell.
The Vietnam?
Yeah, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
That one started in 1981. It was the year I was born.
Well, come on in, Platypus.
Right, I told you that the one that
Right,
tomb
I'm a
is no
little bit
longer.
late. I gotta drop down. I gotta go start my live.
Okay.
But you did amazing.
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of you.
Well, I'm
Love you
gonna.
guys. I will see you guys over there if you want to join me. I gotta go get started.
Everyone that's still in here, and anyone that may be coming in, I'm gonna go ahead and drop off as well. This concludes the tribute to our fallen, and I thank you all very much for the support. Have a good day.
He did a lot of stuff to Brad's grave. A lot.
What? It just restricted me. Huh? Oh, because I was smoking my vape. What? Okay, fine. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. Thank you all for your support. I appreciate it very much. Have a pleasant evening.